Hi, and welcome to Vtuber Talks with Acapelisa. I'm here with Hangyaku. Welcome, Hang. How you doing?
I'm so sick.
By the voice, you guys could probably tell a little bit. So first things first, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I guess the most thing to talk about is the now me.
Mhm.
Right now, I am trying to be a revolutionary VTuber, trying to switch how VTubers are looked at across the world to a different
Mhm.
point of view.
How did you come up with the name Hangyaku?
Well, first off, Hangyaku was a name that was given to me. Not actually, surprisingly, no, this is a true story, by the way.
Mhm.
Hangyaku was a nickname that was actually given to me a long time ago, back when I used to live in Japan. Because back in school, I didn't really, pay attention or follow anything. I mean, besides schoolwork, most of the time you'll find me in a tree or on the roof sleeping somewhere. So people in Japan was not used to that, so they just like, oh, you're such a rebel, so Hangyaku.
Mhm. Do you have a lore, and if so, could you tell us a little bit about it?
It's hard to explain my lore a little bit because the simple fact is, well, his art isn't done yet.
Mhm. Still work in progress kind of thing?
Still work in progress. I'm still a work in progress. I don't even have legs.
Shock. Alright.
It's really hard to find an artist to really capture what I'm aiming for.
Mhm.
Even though all I want to do was improve this and just gain some legs.
True.
But if I had to say lore wise, me, Heiyaku, and Heiyaku Sha are a riffraff who've been treated poorly through our lives who are now trying to fulfill a promise to keep.
Mhm.
Without any memories of who we used to be, we try to grasp on to what we're going to be.
When did you start streaming, roughly?
As a VTuber or like
Well, I guess both. If you did streaming beforehand, when was that compared to like the VTuber timeline?
first time streaming is long time ago.
Hmm.
I want to give it like a good 5-6 years.
Okay, be
I took
decent.
breaks here and there because I move around a lot, so
Hmm.
I'm not a big streamer fully because I space out too much. But I'm fixing that.
Hmm. And then what about
Now,
VTubing?
VTubing, I've been doing this for practically, I want to say a couple good months, like a good
Hmm.
7 or 8.
What made you want to start streaming and content creation?
Well, streaming was always an important thing to me. I grew up as a family of entertainers.
Hmm.
My father was a DJ, and my mom was a party animal. So you already know where that goes.
Nice. I assume that's how they met, or possibly.
Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly how they pass.
Nice.
But me personally, I didn't want to become a disc jockey, and
Hmm.
as much as I love partying, I can't do it every single day.
Yeah.
So I decided to be a streamer, mostly because I was motivated by a child, surprisingly.
Oh, was
A
it this
person,
back in the 6 years ago kind of timeline?
yeah, it's like more like spring break kind of timeline. Like I said, my mom is a party animal. So
Hmm.
with that being said, during spring break, I went to Brazil.
Oh, all of the. Is that when all of the festivals are?
Yeah,
Mhm, mhm. The.
it was great. It was fun. Barely remember anything what happened. Woke up the next
Oh
day
no.
to a child saying, "You saved my life."
Whoa. I didn't even know. You didn't even know. You're just like, you saved me. Okay,
I
kid.
hope you remember what I ate
Alright.
last night. The funny part is that this little girl has been fascinated with me ever since I saved her life to the point that she tried to get me to adopt her. I'm
Did you ever,
still
you
questioning.
never asked her what happened?
I just rolled with it.
You're just
I
like,
cause
cool.
because I was like, I'm probably not gonna see her again, which is the darkest thing I can think of. But like,
And then she
but it was
she
like
hung out with
it
you
was
every
like
day after that.
yeah, she waited outside the hotel,
Oh
took
my
me to
gosh.
breakfast. I was like, aren't you an orphan? Where are you getting this? I recontacted her, and as a wish for her, there's two things I need to do. She wants me to get big enough in order to relay a message to the world.
Alright.
And to go back to Japan to find her old parents' home.
What made you want to be a VTuber as opposed to having a face cam?
Let's be honest. Everybody would rather be using a character than using a face cam.
True.
Who wants to wake up first thing in the morning, turn on a camera, and see that? You know?
Fair enough. I mean, there's a lot less preparation. You don't have to ready yourself up just for a stream each day. Or every few days, depending on how often you stream.
Nah, no, the main reason is it just feels easier to talk to people.
Mhm.
I mean, I used to do podcasts before for anime reviews,
Nice.
but usually never show my face. I showed my face a couple of times during YouTube a long time ago, as when I first started out, but I
Mhm.
was mostly in cosplay.
Uh-huh.
So this is just like another version of cosplay to me in my head.
That makes sense. Have you done or are you ever planning on doing a face reveal and why?
Yeah, I do plan on doing a face reveal. And the reasons why, because I don't want to have this continual barrier between me and my fans. If I'm going to relay a message to a world, eventually they have to see me, not the character.
Mhm.
And knowing that I'm trying to do music and all that just makes it even more promisable to show my face eventually.
How did you come up with your original character design?
This character, actually, I redrew a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, this is not like the original look for it, but like back then I used to doodle a lot in high school. Either I'll be making comic book strips or just drawing what I'm seeing just from listening to music. If I ever right, this is how I always pictures. Well, this is how we always pictures ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's realistic, because I cut my hair, so my hair is no longer this long. The only thing that's really realistic is the way that I dressed and the necklace around my neck.
You have both of those kind of in real life kind of thing?
This necklace was a keepsake for me.
Oh, nice. From
was,
somebody or?
In a way, yeah, you guess you could say that. It's hard to explain. More like I woke up with this on.
Interesting. Confusing, but interesting. It's just more people doing. Somebody put it on your neck while you're asleep. A little creepy, but okay.
The point is where I met Hangyaku, the other me.
Mm-hmm. The other you?
This necklace was a way to keep him in check. Whenever I needed him, I would just unlock it. But now we get along, so we don't want to kill each other anymore. So I don't really wear the necklace like I used to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't know how to ask. No, I don't know how to ask this question. Is this like a internal character or like a DID thing or?
This is a DID thing.
Okay.
I mean, to the state, which I got myself tested like about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
The state has clarified me as an unidentified DID. Apparently, my DID is so rare that they can't pinpoint what type it is.
Because it's only like the one other person kind of thing?
Well, yeah,
Or is it...
it's one other person, but it's the fact is that okay, you know how you all have like imaginary friends when you're younger.
Yeah.
Say if that imaginary friend sticks with you for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where he can actually touch you.
Interesting. So it's like a person only you can see and talk to, but it's like stays there forever.
He can communicate with y'all as well, but like it's more like some people say like I'm probably possessed because when he takes over, it's like watching from the outside.
Yeah, that's DID. I've watched there's a YouTube channel called Dissociated that I watched, like I binge watched a lot of her videos, well, their videos a while ago.
Before we used to talk to each other like through like text, like messages and voicemails. Constantly screaming at each other. I'll wake up with bruises or something like that. It's like this is my body,
and the other person thought it was yours.
Exactly.
I see. So is there a confirmed like host person now? Like, are you the host person or are the other person the host person?
we're both the hosts. We decided.
It's just a level playing field.
Exactly. We
Okay.
both agreed that we can't get rid of one another.
Well, yeah,
If
obviously.
we try to kill the other will go too.
Obviously. In the same body. That's kind of how that works.
It sucks, but yes.
Yeah. It's
But
like how you said you woke up with bruises. It's like you woke up with them, but the other dude had to deal with the pain of giving them.
oh yeah, no, he dumb.
You dumb.
None of us was happy about it.
Yeah, whoever deals it is just as stupid as the person who has to deal with
Exactly.
the repercussions.
It's the moment of why are you punching yourself? Why are you
Literally.
punching yourself?
Literally, yeah.
Basically, like to the point now is like the reason why they can't identify is the point is they're getting confused because the fact is I can physically see him. Like he's not just some person walk like just there. Like he's like if I had
Like
to imagine,
can you see it outside of your body or inside your head?
like okay, so I'm in control, correct?
Mhm.
In my room right now, he is asleep on the bed next to me.
Oh,
And there's no imaginary. There's actually 2 beds in this room.
the one that he normally goes to and one you normally go to. Is that the same when
Exactly.
when he's at the front? Like he sees you or no?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah,
We can
I
touch
haven't
each
heard
other.
of
We
that
can mess
before.
with each other. I remember one time I was walking on the street and I made a bad dad joke and he tripped me. Granted, we were both not happy about it because we both felt it, but still,
Oh yeah.
he
Yeah.
got the point across.
I guess yeah, that would be hard to diagnose because I've only ever heard about it being like you can only talk to or see like the people if you're like looking inside, I guess, inside your head. And inside your head for some people could be like a house or some building that other people are in, but usually it's not like they're not on the outside of the world. It's interesting.
Most people would usually regret having this kind of symptom, but personally for me,
I
I
mean,
see this
hey,
as an
now that
opportunity.
you're not fighting, you have an inbuilt buddy. What do you mean?
I mean,
It's like having
look,
a twin.
I suffered,
Like having a
and I
twin,
wanted
though.
him. Well, okay, yeah, but like, I never wanted to, hurt him.
Hmm.
Nor did I want to get rid of him. It's mostly out of anger.
Yeah, it was probably also confusion of what the hell is happening.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because
So
usually
with
for
that,
DID people, it usually takes the original host a long time to figure out what's happening. Because the other personalities don't want them to realize what's happening. Do you
so
want
with
me to keep in the DID stuff or take it out?
no, keep it. It's
Okay.
fine. It's
I just
fine.
wanted to check.
He's okay with it. No, it's fine. I think it's important for people to know this. That way they don't get more confused.
Mm-hmm.
There is a slight side effect, though. Sadly to say.
Oh.
Well, ever since he has been around, basically, I haven't been able to think logically for a long time
Mm-hmm.
because he took that part from me.
So like he's you're more intuitive or emotionally driven as
I'm
opposed to
emotionally
logically.
driven. He's more logically driven.
Mm-hmm.
But it
I
also
see.
gets us in trouble because even though what he seems what he doing is logically sound, to the world, it's like you're an idiot.
Did you have any artists work on your model, and if so, what are their names?
Her name is kind of hard to pronounce,
Mhm.
but a Seravity.
Okay.
I also recommend this person to most people that want to get their art done.
Do you have any preferences or restrictions on what art can be done of your model?
At this point, no.
Okay.
Before I even got anything to say, it's already been done. So I just gave up. It's like, you know what? Have a blast.
Go
Just
ahead.
don't draw me with doing lewd things with or
Underage
boys.
people, yes.
No underage things.
Yes. I feel like that should be pretty universal, though.
You'd be surprised.
Do you think, or do your friends think that your voice matches your model?
Sometimes they do.
Sometimes.
I mean, right now I'm sick, so this doesn't really.
True. When not sick, are you ever self-conscious of hearing your voice back in VODs or videos?
Oh, constantly, all the time. Every day I practice singing, and I'll replay that me singing to myself
Mhm.
every time I do a retake. So it drives me insane. I feel like I'm never. It's the most anxiety thing you can do as a VTuber, as
Mhm.
an artist, just to rehear yourself. Because
Critiquing
sometimes the
your
mics,
voice. Mm.
yeah, sometimes the mics you buy can make you sound completely different than what you
True, true.
suspect,
Yeah.
and it's hard to find a good quality mic.
Do you play any characters on stream or intentionally emphasize specific parts of your personality? And do you do any voices?
I do a lot of voices actually,
Hmm.
but not to my character.
It's for
I
per
mostly
game.
play exactly. I tend to, in order to get immersed into horror games, which is most of the games I play, is to become the character.
Hmm.
So I play a
The
lot of
real
8-bit
actor
horror
within
games.
comes out. What makes you want to keep streaming to this very day?
If I have to be honest, it's mostly the people.
Mhm.
I didn't think streaming would be so fun in the beginning. I felt like coming from a person who usually do podcasts behind a mic with no screen or anything. There's a paper, a desk, and whatever you want to talk about. To a person has to play on screen and put on a mask that everyone needs to see. Felt constricting to me. But
Mhm.
now that I'm doing it and seeing how it changed people, see all the good I can do out of it, and see how much he can cause chaos and not do it to me, it's all good. I like it. I think I'm glad it's happening this way.
What do you hope to achieve during your VTubing career? What are your goals and aspirations?
Like I said in the beginning, there's a message I want to send to the world, but I'll only say it until I get to the very top.
Mhm.
At least not like number one in the world, but just enough for like everyone to just sit and listen for just 5 minutes. Besides that, I want to continue. I want to be an idol, specifically for rock and metal.
Like the music kind of thing. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes more
music kind
sense.
of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll still do regular days like playing games and
Mhm.
talking to people, meet and greets. But I want to get my voice out there again. I used to do bands a lot back in high school, and I want to do it again. And if they're ever watching this, I miss you guys. So far, we don't do that anymore because we all, move it away.
Mhm.
So as a token of us breaking up, each one of us gave a piece of ourselves to the other band members. My band member gave me his guitar. I gave him my mic and book. My
Little
drummer gave me
memento.
his micro vest.
Nice.
I didn't like that one.
No.
No, no, because in the beginning it looked very big on me.
What is something that you've really enjoyed about being a VTuber?
The most thing I've enjoyed being a VTuber is meeting other VTubers actually.
Mhm.
Like you, I met you do this.
Easy, right there.
And mostly because of Corona. It made me stay inside and work on this more. And I got to meet a lot of amazing and weird and strange people who I can now consider my team and my friends.
What is something or some things that you wish you could change within the VTubing community?
There's a list. There's a list.
Oh
I,
no,
I I don't know why I did a hand gesture.
because you can't see it.
But there's a list.
Hmm.
But if I had to say the biggest thing, people out there, ask yourself one good question. Is this really who you want to be?
Can you elaborate upon that?
Well, okay. So there's two elaborations actually for this.
Okay.
One, most people who I met as streamers would stream as a creature or a abomination or something completely insane. Others would be different genders and voice act of different voice all the time, which I can say puts a lot of strain in the voice.
You appreciate more of the down
People
to
who
earth kind of look and voice kind of
well,
thing? Is that what you mean? Or
I enjoy the creativity, but I
Mhm.
also enjoy people being themselves.
Mhm. As
Because
opposed to
that's
just
what,
like a full character kind of thing.
exactly, because isn't that what you want the people to watch? To
Yeah.
know? To
Yeah.
enjoy? You? Can you say it's really you if you play behind a character and voice acting something else?
It's an interesting take on it.
I mean,
Just
eventually you have to
disclaimer.
meet your fans.
Just have disclaimer. This does not represent Acapelisa's views or these are Hangyaku's
Look, y'all can do you.
thoughts.
I'm not front.
I'm kidding.
I'm not judging
No, I
anybody.
know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying personally, like
Personally, you want.
as
Yeah.
a person who used to roadie and
Mhm.
seeing how performers perform, eventually you will want to meet your fans,
Mhm.
and I feel like pretending to be someone else is more stressful than being yourself. Because the fact is, even if they don't like you, if you stop playing your character, would they really stay? Like I said, the main thing is that I'm here to be me and to give out all of me with nothing to hide.
Mhm.
If you don't like me, that's fine. But at least I want you to like me for me.
Do you have any special skills or talents
Don't let the sickness fool you. Singing it would be one of them.
on a normal
I write
day?
on a normal day. I write a lot of lyrics, and
Mhm.
I like to make music. Granted, I'm still trying to relearn the guitar again, but I'm mostly a vocalist. I can't draw on a PC for nothing, but if you give me a book and a pencil, it's
Mhm.
a whole nother story. I draw whatever I hear. But in order for me to do that, I need the feel of the drawing. Like, it's something about having a pencil and paper, that strong feeling connection that you have from the tip of the lead to the base of the paper itself. You can't get the same way with a drawing tablet.
Mhm.
It feels, I don't know, wrong.
Mhm.
Granted, I want to do art for people one day. I will be happy to, but until I break this barrier between PC and paper,
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen. Besides that, I also can bartend, if that makes I don't know, any difference at all.
What are your favorite animals?
Actually, that's a funny talking. I found an old book report I did back in middle school. I love whale sharks. I don't know
Nice.
why.
It's
I
very
don't know why.
unique. Mm.
I swam with one whale shark and it been hooked for me for the rest of my life.
Nice. What got you into gaming?
So as weird as it sounds, what got me into gaming was actually a game itself.
Which one?
It was a very old game called Worm. It
Ah,
was
yeah, a
this
worm.
intellectual space ranger who was also a worm in a suit
Mhm.
who will go around shooting enemies and trying to save the universe.
What genre of games or specific games are your favorite to play now?
Like I said, mostly horror. I love music games, but horror, mysteries, and action games. I'm
Mhm.
not a big fan of sports games. I feel like sports games is just not fun. If I wanted to play basketball, I'll go outside.
Fair, fair.
As funny as it sounds, this question has came up to me before, and I told him the same line, and he was like, "Well, you can't do WWE outside." I was like, "Really? Have you ever tried to suplex your mailman before?"
That's how you get a lawsuit. Do you watch anime, and if so, what are your favorite ones?
Yes, I watch animes. If anyone who still remember my podcasts, I watch anime a lot, and I still review them to this day.
Mhm.
I guess I'll have to go with anime I started with, and then anime I like now, because I get that'll better understand the range of where it changed.
Yep.
So the first anime I ever watched was Zatch Bell,
Yeah.
the little boy with his magical book that he gave to another boy, who now this puppet can shoot lightning out of his mouth. That's the best I can describe it.
Mhm.
And now it's hard to say. Anime has changed so much
True.
this year, and I want to give it the benefit of the doubt, but it's really I'm really starting to question where anime is gonna go now, because it seems like anime is going backwards.
I mean, I guess everything has its seasons of popular, and then they kind of go forward and go back, and then forward and back, and something new comes
Well,
out. And
a better example is back then, anime for Japan was like no limits.
do you have any hobbies or activities that you do outside of streaming?
I recently got an electric longboard. Thank for the person who gave it to me.
Oh, what?
Electric longboard.
Oh, longboard. Okay. So doing like
Sorry.
surfing and stuff like that?
I guess you could say it's land surfing.
Uh,
A longboard is just a
oh, the skateboard. You didn't specify. I thought you meant like longboard as in like surfboard, and then you said land on like on sand dunes. I know people do that though. They do that.
I mean, I surf too, but like I never ever call my surfboard a longboard.
Okay.
So it was like
Skateboarding, yes. And have you done that for like a long time, or is it more recent?
well, surfboarded a long time.
Mhm.
Longboarded more recent.
Okay. But still,
Corona makes you want to do a lot of different things,
true.
and with the Corona, you can't go to the beach.
Yeah. You only have the streets. When you're feeling low, unmotivated, or like you aren't where you want to be at in your career, what do you do to bring yourself up out of that and to motivate yourself?
Well, one, I wasn't one of those that helps me motivate. Is my friends. Sometimes they catch me and see that I'm at a low point in my life and throw like little small pick me up messages. It puts a little smile on my face.
Mhm.
If I really need to if I'm depressed right there and then, and I really need to pick me up and I have to stream like right now, I will play some music and like one particular song actually.
Mhm.
And
I mean, you don't have
feels
to share what it is, but you
it's
know,
cliche to
everyone's
some
gonna want to
people.
know now.
Look, okay.
What
If
is
I'm
it?
gonna say this, I'm gonna say this
Is it
right now.
Don't Worry,
I
Be
do not
Happy?
have a god complex or a royalty complex, but a Hail of Kings or some good like Viking metal. Because Vikings, I don't know what about Vikings. They know how to pick people up. They're always encouraging somehow in their songs.
Mhm. Are there any hardships or hard lessons that you've learnt since becoming a VTuber/streamer?
Actually, as funny as it sounds, because I was actually going to do a video on this not
Mhm.
like later this month. If y'all watching right now and y'all are starting or trying to be a VTuber or a streamer in general, out of all people I can say is it's not going to be easy. You're not going to be famous right off the bat. And even if you do, there's always people who is trying to bring you down constantly. I call them haters, but we all know who they are. But they'll try to catch you at your weakest points, catch you while you're streaming, clips things that you say and make it sound like it's something else, trying to bury you in the ground. The one thing you need to know is not to let that discourage you. I seen a bunch of famous and good friend streamers of mine shut down, stop giving the will to do whatever they do best. Some of them stopped streaming, some of them stopped doing art, some of them stopped doing commissions altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're having a problem in VR chat where I'm with a group called Purple Lotus, and one of my good friends, Luna, she's having a problem of people ripping avatars and selling them online.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do for the VR community is to bring back the avatar showcase back,
Mm-hmm.
where people make their avatars, make their cool effects on a VR chat and everything, and show it to the world, show how creative they was. But now people are afraid to do that because of these rippers
Yeah.
who wants to bring them down.
You just want to make a quick buck.
Exactly. I'm not the only streamer who's telling that these new streamers that it's not going to be easy. Not too long ago, good boy of ours, Lost Paws, also put up a video not too long ago of how streamers are nowadays. And I want to say, even though I'm not a big streamer, I could say I mostly get that attention of constantly getting ridiculed, people picking words out of me, trying to make me seem like a horrible person. But if I let that tear me down, who's else going to take my place?
I guess on that, do you have any advice for anyone who is looking to become a content creator?
Don't let the tiniest thing bother you. People who streams and see that they have like nobody watching them, don't look at that. Ignore that. Don't even pay attention to it. The only thing you need to pay attention is to entertain you. If you can entertain yourself from what you're doing, eventually people will come to see that you're doing a good job as well and start watching you as well. If you pay attention to that viewer button saying 0, or pay attention to the people in the chat who's trying to bring you down, eventually it's going to get to you and bring you down. But if you ignore that and keep up on it every day, eventually you will get up there. No one gets up there in a day. No one gets up there in a week. This is all progress. And if you can't do it and it's too hard, note that you have friends. No one said you had to do it alone.
So what would you classify the type of content that you create as?
A variety streamer. And that works the best for me because I don't like sticking with one thing. I feel like if you stick with one thing, you're trapped for it forever.
More demotivating if you're like, but I don't want to play this today. And you're kind of stuck with it. Yeah.
Right? People like, a good example is I have a friend who I used to start YouTube videos with way before. He was my best partner ever. And we're still friends to this very day. Called the DS Asylum. Now he does videos on YouTube for Dragon Ball Legends. And now ever since he's been doing that, he's been stuck. He has been trying to get out of that. He couldn't.
Couldn't without dropping a lot of views and subs and stuff kind of thing.
Exactly, because that's what's making him the views right now.
Yeah, which if that's a portion of his income, he would probably need to keep up. Ending question, what are your socials for the ladies and gentlemen at home?
My socials is Facebook is still under work. Instagram is also still under work. Videos will mostly be on YouTube and Twitch. And to talk to me personally, or ask questions or help, or people who wants to work with me, is Twitter. Twitter is the most place that you can catch me.
This was Vtuber Talks with Acapelisa. Thanks, Hangyaku, for joining me.
And thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys! How did you come up with the name Hangyaku? Yaku! Thank you for joining me. Wow, I can't even say your name. I need to look up your name. Hold on.